he came onto the platform, said that he could sing better than me, and did not sing, and has not sang all season.
That's one reason why you should be singing here, to shut the shit down, Cordae. I'm so not happy with you right now, because I knew that Cordae's ass was coming with a damn song. What's up, guys? We are back to bring you another exclusive interview. And actually, since I'm by myself, I just realized I said we are back. I am back since I am now a solo act. I am back to bring you an exclusive interview with another cast member from G Status ATL Hustle. I think you are probably Cordae, one of the most anticipated guests to come to my channel because of people wondering and wanting to know if the way you present yourself on G Status ATL Hustle is the real you. But before we get into anything G Status ATL Hustle, everyone that comes here usually ends up leaving better than they came. So typically when my church in the audience happens to watch these videos and these interviews, they like the people even more, or if they didn't like someone, they actually start liking them. So I think I want to say you're probably infamous at this point.
I'm just me.
So let's start this interview out with us getting to know Cordae. Who is Cordae and where are you from? I think you may have shared it on G Status ATL Hustle, but refresh my church, my God, and let them know, where are you from? Where were you born?
I am Cordae. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina.
You are not going to turn both of our chairs, Cordae.
Oh, sorry. I'm just nervous. It's okay. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was born and raised there. And I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, like maybe 3 years ago. And I packed up my car and I left and never looked back.
I'm going to go on record to say that the Cordae that we see on G Status ATL Hustle, that may not be the real him. I have had great interactions with Cordae. Not only that, Tramel is here. You guys love Tramel. He is on the other side of the camera. And he let me know that Cordae is socially awkward and I've been...
And Tramel's bulky.
Okay, I'm glad you just said that. See, I wanted to get to know you before we got into you and your shadiness. But
I didn't know. But I'm just
saying, since you said
awkward.
It, I'm going to go with the flow of this interview since you said it. Okay, so while we were off camera, Cordae happened to call Tramel bulky. We all know Tramel's not bulky, and bulky is also an offensive word.
I didn't know it was an offensive
It's very offensive.
word. Like when you go to your trainer, you say, and you're skinny like me, because that was like the purpose of the conversation. I was like, you tell them you want to bulk up.
You want to bulk up, not be bulky. And that was also in reference to you being, wait, hold up. Let's give the church full disclosure. It was in reference to fashion, and you were considering yourself slim, and you were explaining how slim clothes is better to go expensive because they're more tailored to your body. But you know, you, Tramel, can wear anything because you're bulky.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said it.
And now see.
But the thing was, when I thought about it, I really did think bulky was like, you know, bulky, hulky, Incredible Hulk. He's like really buff, bulky. All of these words are just
okay. So
strong.
I want to bring it all the way back around.
But I typed it in too.
What was interesting about that happening off camera was, even though I met Cordae at the club last week, face to face,
I want to tell people I went to the club.
He's also texted and checked on me and been very, very kind and awesome to me. So I think along with the church, I was still wondering if I was getting the real you or if G Status Hustle was the real you. But when he made the comments about Tramel being bulky, I was able to sit there and watch and see that Cordae was actually being very genuine and wasn't trying to be shady, because he defended the word bulky all the way to Googling pictures of people who were bulky. Even Tramel said, that's not how I look. So I made Cordae go to the dictionary and define the word bulky. And what happened when you...
Let's just say Tramel looks amazing.
Yeah, so he realized...
I meant buff, gosh, athletically built and beautiful.
So...
Sorry.
Again,
Nelly.
I was glad that that happened, because it let me know that you can happen to say things that you don't mean, but it can come across very shady. And yeah, we had a moment, and it showed me that things that you may have said on G Status ATL Hustle may have been you just not using the proper words. I hope so. So let's get back into talk about weird and awkward. We're in a good way, because I actually do like Cordae. Because you do know, Cordae, you were originally one of my faves. You do know that, right?
I'm gonna always be your fave deep in your heart. We hope.
Okay, yes. So tell us your story. Tell us about you. We know where you're from.
Yes, so Charlotte, North Carolina. I grew up in a great family. I have technically 5 other brothers and sisters. Single mother household type situation. I am the middle child.
Okay.
If that helps anybody understand me.
No.
A little bit more.
No.
You're the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
Exactly. So I'm
Exactly
the middle
what?
child. Y'all don't understand. But that's also
Wait,
kind of
hold
weird.
on. What is it that we don't understand as being the eldest?
Y'all get everything first. Everything. How many people?
Well, I was raised as the only child, so it wouldn't matter. But that whole argument about middle and eldest,
But
the most responsibility goes on the eldest child. But tell your story.
not in my family. But no,
Not in your family?
well, I just saw things differently.
So who's walking brothers to the bus stop? Who's making sure your siblings are okay
I think
when
that-
things happen
I
at
think
school?
we
The
came-
eldest child.
I think in our family we came up a little bit more. It was just more free, a little bit more independent, kind of. Like it was 4 of us, me, 5. So, but we all kind of went to different schools. Like,
Okay.
we never really went to the same school.
But you lived in the same household.
But we lived in the same house. So, different bus times. But whatever the case is, as the middle child, I just seen things differently.
Well, explain those things. What did you see differently? Help us out.
Well, I felt a lot of singled out. I was very isolated. I usually stayed in my room, or I was like beating for
Attention? Okay.
And I didn't really see those things until I kind of grew up. Like, oh, Cordae, you're probably one of the most spoiled ones.
Okay, wait, so I'm confused. So were you spoiled or were you lacking attention? Because I do understand.
Being spoiled doesn't have anything to do with lacking attention. One is a giving, a monetary type thing. The other is a social feel.
I'm not sure if I agree with that, but I respect
Well, I mean,
your opinion.
in my situation, that's
Okay.
just how I saw it as a child. But as I grew up, then I kind of realized, okay, Cordae, you're just being a brat.
Because you do realize children who lack attention from parents usually aren't spoiled. You do know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as I grew up, again, I'm just...
Go ahead, share your story.
No, as I grew up, I just kind of realized that I was just a little asshole. Sorry, Mom. I was.
Okay, so I thought you were going to go a different way with your being the middle child because you've experienced some things in your life. So I don't want to tell your story, but you have opened up to me. So are you going to let's let's go into.
I mean, a lot of what I realized I was experiencing was more so my adulthood.
Okay.
Honestly, to be really, really honest, like the only childhood memories I remember is my dad dying, bits and pieces of that funeral.
May I ask, when did your dad pass?
When I was 5.
Wow. Okay. So were
I was 5.
your mother and your father together?
They weren't. I don't think they were together at the time. Like I said, my memory is really shot from childhood.
Okay.
But I remember certain scenes of my dad being around, but I don't remember really much else. I remember them arguing one time. My mom had on like red. It's weird. So other than that, I think I remember mostly like when people died. It's kind of weird. Like people that were close to me died, like my aunt or / godmom. So those are the only like real memories I have of childhood.
Okay.
Anything before the age of maybe 16, honestly and truthfully, I don't really remember.
So would you say that you had a difficult childhood, or?
I think that I may have made it a little bit more difficult.
And how did you make it difficult?
Because I just think I was being an asshole. To be honest. Like, I think that I wanted something that I already had, and I just didn't realize it because I wasn't maybe intellectually, like, I just didn't know that it was there, but it was there.
Do you think it may have been the passing of your father or not having a father present that could have brought that on, or?
I don't know, because my father, I don't remember him ever really being around except just small memories.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember having one, so I can't really blame it on not having.
So it wasn't as if your father was kind of snatched away. Or explain it. Sure, I didn't want to tell your story for you.
No.
But I do know you have a story. I do know you do.
It's really weird because it's really hard to explain because I don't have those memories.
Okay.
I don't, like, childhood like 15, 16, I don't really have very many memories except of like loss.
And what caused you to not have those memories?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I think that's something deeper. That'll be something deeper. I think it's something deeper, but...
Have you ever tried therapy or counseling?
I have went to therapy a couple times because, like, I know I've shared it with you, and I've shared it through my last project. I have, went through depression and, different situations with experiencing thoughts of suicide and some addictions, and I mean that's my extent of therapy and understanding what it was.
And what period of your life was that?
That was when I got into my 20s.
Okay. So before we get to your 20s, let's address high school age, your teens, in reference to homosexuality, being gay, coming out, single mom, you have siblings. How was that?
So pretty much me and my siblings we kind of raised each other. My mom, she did an awesome job, but she did an awesome job to make sure that we had the best life. She went to school and taught morning and night, like computer, IT classes. So really, like, my older sister was like left in charge. And then as we got
the eldest was left
I didn't say she did her job right,
but she was left in charge. To prove my point.
She was left in charge, but I don't know if she did her job. But yeah, my mom, she worked hard. She just really, really worked hard, and we were supposed to understand that. And we were supposed to appreciate that and let that be the kind of like the guidance to how we make decisions.
Okay.
I honestly, it's just like I said, I don't have very many childhood memories to really go through my adolescence. As far as high school.
Yeah, high school, and then coming out and being gay and all of that.
So high school, I loved high school, 9th and 10th grade. People loved me. I was a performer. People love me. People cling to me very easily. I was somewhat like popular, and I was completely different. I was always ahead of my time, like on fashion and that kind of thing. I probably was the only person in my family, in my siblings, as well as amongst my peers in high school that had a job since I was like 15. So I was able to just buy what I wanted, as far as like clothes. So I was just always like forward. Like I wasn't buying what my mom was trying to recommend me to buy. You know, the big clothes, that kind of thing. So that was kind of my high school. Like I had good high school.
So get to this coming out. We want to know about being gay.
Never. Sorry, I'm honestly, I never had a coming out. The way that I feel like I see it, I hope my family sees it like that. But the way I see it is, I have 4 other brothers and sisters, and if they don't have to come and say, "Hey, mom, I'm straight. You're gonna deal with it, and this is my life," I would never go to my mom and be like, "Hey, mom, I'm gay." We never did that. We never had that conversation. I would be offended and feel insulted. But later on in life, I did have some issues in household with that.
Explain those, because I will say, in reference to not having a coming out story, I don't have one, because I was very similar with the position of, if you don't know that this is my boyfriend, that's on you.
Right.
So I never said, "Hey mom, hey dad, hey grandpa or pop or my mom, I'm gay." I never did that.
Well, I think also during my childhood, I do remember being, I don't know if it's sheltered because we didn't really have like curfews or nothing, but like anything sexualized or anything vulgar, like I couldn't say the word butt, like B-U-T-T.
So did you grow up religious?
I couldn't say, no.
Oh.
I couldn't say, I mean, my grandmother was, and I would volunteer myself to, accompany her and going to church. But my mom, not really, only on Easter. So.
Like many people.
Okay.
My God.
But, no, I didn't come up, like, we didn't have cable. So we were never exposed to like sex. Like there's sex out there, and there's like love beyond just like, "Oh, you're my boyfriend and I'm your girlfriend" type situation. So like growing up like in high school and stuff, I had a girlfriend because all we had to do was like walk around, hold hands, write a million love letters, which she like keeps. Her name's Alyssa. Hey, Alyssa. And she has her box of love letters that I wrote her.
Is that your only girlfriend that you've ever had?
No.
Oh, okay. So we're still waiting for this coming out story because you had girlfriends,
but it was after high school.
It don't matter when it was.
Okay, so
we want to know when you came out, Cordae.
Sorry, so I didn't ever really come out, but I didn't have my first male experience until I graduated high school.
At what age?
17.
Okay, we have a lot of things in common.
16, half 17.
Although I was 18, but
yeah, I just had to make sure that I knew what it was. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know what anything was.
So you had more girlfriends after Alyssa is her name?
Yeah, then it was Charlene. And it was so annoying.
I'm laughing at you giving out these women.
Because they're my friends on Facebook. So they're going to look at this and be like, "Oh my God, I remember when we dated." And then after that, no, I didn't have any more girlfriends.
So when did you shift into?
That was 11th grade.
Okay.
But I had a very brief 11th grade year. I had 11th grade year, but I didn't have a senior year because I skipped the 12th grade.
All right. So to break up the monotony of this being so serious, I have to ask some questions.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to use the wrong words and terms since we're talking about coming out and shifting from men to women.
Okay.
So the church needs to know is Tramel. Tramel is looking at me right in my face. Cordae.
What? Y'all are so...
The church is going to come from because they're going to think because of the whole date thing, Tramel, I got you on the brain. My church members want me to go on a date with Tramel.
Okay. Hey, set it up. No, man.
Tramel is not my brain. Literally, Tramel is like right there. I can see his face right there. So the church wants to know, Cordae.
What?
Are you top, versatile, or bottom?
I'll answer that. I am a full top.
Okay.
I don't like them.
You don't like them what? Wait. Oh, okay. Why are you afraid to say dick or penis?
My mom's watching.
Oh, your mom's watching. Oh, that makes sense. Now, see, I can respect that.
And I just talked to her this morning. Mm-hmm. She had a lot of choice words.
And you actually informed me that your mom has seen, my videos because she asked about me wearing underwear in the videos.
She likes you.
Oh, hi, Mom.
She thinks that mic was creepy.
Oh, you do know we have on live microphones.
Shit. Okay, well. Hey,
but
Mom.
it may not have caught it, so you may be good.
Okay. but no, I've never been really into them. Anybody I date, I tell them up front, like I've experienced being a bottom once with one person. Jamarcus, literal coffee.
You are just telling me.
But yeah, that's his name.
Wait, where did the joke come in if that was the real person's name?
It's just, I don't know. It's just.
Shout out to Jamarcus, who topped Cordae.
Can you not say that again?
Well, you said it. I'm just repeating what you said. Well, really quick, there was a second question to follow up that you are a total top.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom. We love you, but I have to ask this question for the church. What size dick does Cordae have?
You won't be answering that question.
You're allowed to say you don't. You're allowed to not answer it, but I have to ask the question.
Sorry. Yeah. That's for people who earn that right to know. Sorry. No, I'm not.
I don't think that's a very invasive question, though.
I know.
It's not.
I don't think it is either.
Because, it's a body part. A foot is a body part. If we ask what shoe size you wear, it's a body part. You know what I mean? So it's not really that invasive. Well, go on. Go on.
But no, as that happened, I didn't know what a top or a bottom was. So I was just like, oh, well, I'm more feminine. So, he's like an MVP football player. So he's more manly. So let me just go ahead and play the game. And then, 2 or 3 months down the line, I realized that, I was doing certain things because I didn't like to do other things.
What does that mean? This whole interview is like a puzzle. My God.
I know. Okay, Mom, fast forward. So I was more so being, I was doing more intercourse because I did not like oral, because I didn't like it to be aggressive towards me, the penis. So I was like, okay, this will make him, go faster. So let's just do that and just get it over with. Oh,
you're still referring to you having bottomed.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't want to talk about that anymore.
I thought that's what you were asking me about.
No.
Okay, good. We're over that. But yeah, that was the first
I thought you were giving us more insight of you being a top, because remember, my last question was about your dick size that you didn't tell me. So that's where I thought we were going.
Oh, well, yeah, that was first and last time.
Okay. But it was a relationship.
It was my very first.
Because it sounded like it was more than once.
Yeah, there was first 3 months.
Okay, so now to put these pieces of the puzzle together, what you are saying is in that relationship, you were doing things that you really didn't want to do, and you realized it at a later date or while it was happening, or what?
I realized that I didn't have to do those things to have a boyfriend, or I realized I did not have to do those things to be
gay.
Yeah. A lot of times when you're not hiding, but when you don't know who you are and you don't know that identity, you kind of have to, experiment as it comes to you. I was just lucky enough to get someone that I had like the biggest crush on. And so.
Well, I will add to that because I've already said we have some similarities. And with the whole being the more feminine one, I do know when I was growing up, well, I didn't have my first sexual experience till I was 18, but in the beginning, I did believe or think I was just supposed to be a bottom just because I didn't know about gay life and how it works and then being feminine or masculine. So I understand where you're coming from. Although I'm not a total top, I am versatile because I enjoy it all. My God.
Mind you, I just didn't know. I didn't know what a bottom or a top was. I didn't know what versatile was. I didn't know what feminine. Well, I know what the definitions are, but I didn't know what feminine and masculine was. I just thought that we're all just here to have fun and get to know yourself. So let's play.
All right. So let's segue into more of your adulthood. You mentioned in your 20s with depression and drugs.
It wasn't drugs.
Okay.
Physical.
I said it loosely because I didn't want to put words in your mouth.
No, I had to say that because I have people that have reached out to family members and like, Cordae was on drugs. He had addiction. No, it was not drugs. It was a physical addiction. And it was just a longing to want to be not alone. And the easiest way is to release certain endorphins during sex.
So you
had a little bit of a sexual addiction.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that because I don't want to come across too abrasive. Thank you. But you know you will make stuff so difficult.
I know. Trying to filter a little bit for her. But
goodness. All right.
Like she knows stuff, but not as much.
So that was your addiction.
Yeah. And that lasted. Do you need the story behind why? Really? What drove me there?
Yes. Give us the story only because it's not often that we have people who share that they had a sex addiction.
Okay, so I think for me, I've always just wanted to have a fulfillment in like someone who like cares about you, loves you, whatever that case is. Because like I said, during my childhood, I was more so like isolated. Like I think I did those things to myself, and that's a whole nother, that like I explained before. So why I went to that, probably because it was the easiest thing to go to. And I just found myself, I didn't really know it was an addiction.
And what age was that?
I was in my early 20s.
Okay. I'm only asking because it's interesting that you would have been able to pinpoint that.
I wasn't able to. So what really happened with it was I kept going to my doctor to get tested and like.
No, but I mean, that was what made you go to the doctor. You did, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You figured out something.
Yeah, okay.
To be able to seek help or inquire about it.
Well,
and that's why I was saying at such a young age, it's interesting that you were aware of yourself to be able to ask your doctor about it or.
Yeah. Well, what happened was so I was having sex, honestly, like 3 times a day.
Wow, okay.
And it would be with 3 different people.
Okay.
And this was when the depression started. I was casted for a show called X Factor. It was a singing show with Simon Cowell. And I got put on and put off like a million different times.
Don't act like we don't know what the hell X Factor is.
Well, some people think it's Fear Factor. And, they will try to play me on that. But no, really. And I was
X Factor, a show with Simon Cowell. We know, but
I auditioned 2 years in a row and got through to a certain level 2 years in a row. And I was kicked on and off and on and off. And it just got to a point where it took a toll. And I'm like, if this is not what I'm going to do, I have nothing else for life. Like, this is it. So
because it's your passion.
It's my passion. And so what I ended up doing was I reacted in a way that was not, good for me, obviously. And I was just like, okay, well, you know what, whatever. So I'm just going to do this and do that and do that. I'm just going to have a fucking great time. And so I was just having sex. Fucking. That's all I was doing. And so what happened was like, I would always feel like, oh my God, I feel bad like by the end of the day. And I was like, I know, like this can't be right. Like my body cannot be healthy at this point. And so I would just go to the doctor like once every like month.
Okay.
And my doctor, at one point, he said, why are you doing this to yourself? He was like, you're a handsome guy. Like, you're here. You keep doing this. You keep coming back negative. What happens when you come back positive? Like, he just kept, kind of going through the motions. And
you are handsome. I don't want to not state that because I think the cast members who have been here, I made sure that the church was aware that you guys look better in person. Wanted to just put it out there.
Thank you. But yeah,
so the doctor, why are you doing this to yourself?
So basically a whole speech of why are you doing this to yourself? Like there's so much more for you. You have potential X, Y, and Z. And then I kind of told him what I was going through, and he was like, you may be going through something that's, a bipolar depression. hypertension, OCD. Like he was just kind of like
Listing,
giving me things. And he was like, so let's start you off on an antidepressant. And when I went on that antidepressant, I had to write my mom a letter because he said that would be like super moody, like the first month.
Yes.
And I had like my nieces around, and that was like the last thing I wanted to be around them because I was just scared because it's a pill that messes with your mind. Like,
oh, trust me, because you're aware.
Yeah.
I suffer from depression, anxiety. Well, I don't want to say suffer. I battle with depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation. So I've tried medication,
right,
all of that, and therapy. So
yeah. So I started taking it, and I remember just being in my room for like 16 hours a day, sleeping. And you know, if you've ever been through it, which you have, I don't know how you reacted to it, but I was just sleeping 16 hours a day, and it has a taste. Like the taste of like you don't eat, you don't shower, you just sleep 16 hours.
That's depression for me too as well. Not even just medication. Depression itself is no eating, sleeping all day, can't get out of bed.
Lack of just wanting to
desire,
lack of
exactly. Motivation, yeah.
So once I started taking it or whatever, I actually got way better. I committed to celibacy and going from 3 times a day to cold turkey, not even masturbation, for 8.5 months. I did amazing. And I took myself off of the pill.
I actually stopped medication as well. I do still see my therapist, but I'm just not a person to take medication. It's just not my thing. So
yeah.
So you're off your meds.
Yeah.
No,
I hate when people call them meds.
They are meds.
I know. It's just so. It's like.
Well, I'm off my meds. Like, it's not derogatory.
I know. It's just.
All right. So.
But yeah, so after 8.5 months and just doing that, I just felt, I felt good. I went like full on, like I went to school full time. I had a full-time job. I worked a part-time job. And I was doing music. I was recording music. I just lived like completely the opposite life. And that was when I was like, okay, it's time to
So
get
is
out of
Cordae your biological name?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's part of the heart.
It's what?
A part of the heart. It's the Cordae ventricle. Keeps you breathing. Okay.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I wish you could have shared it with more conviction because I almost missed it.
I'm sorry.
Because that could have been very impactful, So, what else would you like to share, Cordae?
About me?
Yes. This is your opportunity. Before we get into G-Status ATL Hustle, this is your opportunity for us to get to know you before we address the bullshit from G-Status ATL Hustle, my God.
No, really, I'm a songwriter, singer, and I'm just passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about my art, passionate about other people's art. I love indie artists, so I love startup artists. I've been doing this for quite some time. I've had some great opportunities, some big letdowns, and it has led me to where I am today, and I'm content.
Did you go to college?
I did go to college.
Did you study music in college?
I did for some time. I went to college. My mom was not having it for the whole music thing. She didn't see promise in it, which is okay. I went to South Carolina State University. It's a HBCU. It's my first time being around that many Black people, and it was absolutely amazing.
So you grew up around white people?
I chose to go to predominantly white schools, not on purposely. It just, I just try not to go to the same schools as my brothers and sisters. And so I would end up choosing the school that ended up being predominantly white.
Okay. I'll let that slide because at least you cleaned it up with saying that because you went to an HBCU and you were around tons of Black people, it was awesome.
It was freaking awesome. I loved it. I loved it. I love every minute of it. And there I studied education. First I studied English education because I love to write. I love literature. And then I ended up switching my major to music, vocal performance, and I studied classical music, which is a difficult thing that comes in later. I'm sure you'll ask me about.
Oh, I'm ready for that because you don't know my background neither, my God.
That's awesome. That means we can relate.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So.
But yeah, and But then I think my passion just was not there for the education field. As far as music, I feel like I learned so much, but technical training takes you so far from where the industry is and what you really want to do, especially classical training. And so I ended up studying fashion marketing just because my mom wanted me to have a degree, and I just want to make her happy. So give her a degree.
Your degree, what is your degree in?
Fashion marketing and retail management.
Okay. Alrighty. So, are you ready to get into G-Status ATL Hustle Talk?
Sure.
Alrighty. So, I'm going to go light on you first. What made you want to be a part of G-Status ATL Hustle?
Honestly, I was offered to do 2 other reality shows, and I was like,
what were the 2?
No, I can't say.
Oh, okay.
I can't say. I just don't want to bring that attention. But I was offered to do...
I mean, I know how it feels to not want to give somebody attention.
Okay.
Or something attention.
So, but I was offered to do 2 other ones. One of them, it was really a really nice one, but I was just like more so I didn't feel prepared. And the second one, I just wouldn't do.
Were they at the same time as G-Status?
No,
or?
they were far in between. And I just wasn't ready, honestly. And it was just like something I felt like I would not do. With G-Status ATL Hustle, I battled with it for a long time, but my career was at a standstill. I wasn't moving. Though units were selling, I just didn't feel like I was growing as an artist. And I didn't feel like that my following was growing, or that I knew what my following was. And
okay. So the significance in choosing G-Status was
to try something completely different.
Okay.
Take a sacrifice and take a chance. That was really it.
And you were going into, they reached out?
They reached out to me on Instagram and by email. And I just we had a conversation. And they asked me, what did I expect? Gave my expectations. They said, just do this interview for us. I did the interview. They hit me back with the contract. I sent the contract to people to look over. I added my little stuff into the contract, and we signed off on it, and that was it.
Okay. So I'm glad that you shared the reasons as to why you chose to be a part of G-Status ATL Hustle.
Yeah.
Now I want to go into different things that took place during this season so far with you and other people and how you come across on the show. Before I say how you come across on the show, how do you feel you come across on the show?
I feel like obviously I'm me on the show.
You said me or mean?
Me.
Okay.
M-E. I'm me on the show. What you see is what you get with wit, but I do think that it is altered to create a villain on the show, and I feel like I just so happen to take that role.
Now, I can understand footage being moved around, but explain for the church and the viewing audience what you mean when you say it's being altered to make you the villain, because from my perspective as a viewer, I don't care where they put things you've said about people, how you've come across, whether it's condescendingly, mean, judgmental, or attacking, or as if you don't belong with these people, but you said you wanted to try, you said it's out because your brand was stagnant, it still comes across that way. So I'm not sure, explain to the church when you say that you're being made to look like the villain.
I don't know if I just said this, but let me make sure that I'm putting it out there right. Like I said, I'm me. Like what you see, it's real. That's who I am. However, the responses and some of the footage, you just not seeing the full story. I don't feel like it's necessarily manipulated, but it's put out there so you guys and viewers can, you know, storm up and bring up whatever you want to that entertains you. You'll see what entertains you.
But what about specific comments that you've made in reference to you coming across as if you don't belong in that circle? That's not something that the viewing audience can twist.
Okay,
you've come across like that because you've said negative things about Sharad's networking event. You came across a certain kind of way at Milan Jadah's karaoke situation.
So I'm going to. I get.
You keep saying alter, and I'm gonna let you share it. But I'm gonna let you share it. But the only issue, because you do know that I like you, that I have with your answers is that regardless of what was altered, your behavior was still your behavior.
And I totally agree with that. And like I said, like what I put out there is really what it is. So I do want people to realize something. I've heard you say, I've heard other parties say, and other viewers say that, you know, you all are here, y'all on the same platform, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, what I really want people to understand and realize about a reality show and just doing anything, whether it's a performance full of artists or whatever, it may be the same stage, it may be the same audience, but we're all there for different reasons. And when you've worked years and years and years, regardless of how people feel about your brand, your artistry, whatever the case is, when you've worked so long and so hard on something, everything seems like a really big opportunity. So when I got the offer from G Status, it was completely like super professional, as it's been, like as far as production. So I'm thinking that I'm stepping into a phase of people that I can really learn from. Other artists. I felt like as far as Sharad's event specifically, I thought it was a networking event. I didn't know it was centered around Sharad. I did not know that it was Sharad's event. I did not know that that was the focus of the event. When it came off to me, it was an artist networking event. So,
but even if you come across and say it wasn't what you expected, we still can be more positive in situations with addressing certain things, and you didn't come across positive at all.
And I can get the negativity and the positivity of it. However, for someone who does not go into groups and who is definitely a loner and doesn't really do that much as far as our community, when you step into it and what you get, you go there with this high expectation of, oh my God, we're about to like maybe find somebody to help me make a record, maybe find somebody who can, you know, help me grow vocally, whatever the case is. And you go there and the first thing that because I was extremely late. I have a reason. My building literally caught on fire. I have text messages and the pictures of fire trucks to prove it. Because I was on my way. I was extremely late. And so when
we had bigger fish to fry than you being late. So that I didn't care about.
But why I'm saying I was late was when I walked in, it wasn't even 5 minutes before the whole thing popped off about was he in a porn and just that whole altercation. So when you have these high expectations of like, I'm making my way into the entertainment industry, this might be my break, this might be it, and that has been your passion, and you walk into a situation and it's just like, y'all are fighting over what? Like, this is a conversation.
But how did you think it would be your big break or something significant based on even where the event was held?
Well, you gotta understand, when we get scheduling and placements and stuff, we don't know like you don't know what you're walking into. And when it's on a map,
I get that, but I'm still trying to figure out how someone's apartment building, which is that is what it was.
Yeah, and I did not know that was an apartment building.
But when you got there and you pulled up,
I was like,
to whoever apartment lofts, whatever it is.
Yeah. Now, mind you, when we did get there, I don't know if we're allowed to share like behind the scenes. Well, when we got there, we were in the clubhouse.
If it's like we're past it in the show, then you can address stuff.
So when we got there, we were all in the clubhouse, and it was like very formal. There was like paperwork. It was just people in and out. I mean, it looked super, super professional. We didn't know. I didn't know that's where the scene was going to be shot, but they were already in the loft or whatever, and we were walked up there. Okay. And when you get there, you're told. I was told specifically, I don't know about the other cast, was don't talk to anybody, kind of stay to yourself, stay by yourself. and you kind of go from there. But like I said, my expectation was just high.
But then your issue would be with production and not fellow cast members to degrade them, because we are all at different places in our lives.
Well, yeah, I get that.
So even you sharing that you thought it was going to be a big break or a record producer or someone that could help you musically, I think even from a small scale, the viewing audience was bothered because your brand specifically, when it comes to music and as well as Charlie, everybody is someone who you can market to because you want to sell units.
Unfortunately, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion and just how I'm going to do things, and of course this is, like I said, this is my first time in these situations, so it's a learning experience. I didn't come up like that. That's not how I got into the business. That's not how I was molded in this business. First and foremost, telling my age, coming into this business, you couldn't be gay as an artist, for one. That was the first hurdle. And then, so to go from that kind of train of thought and not ever really like having gender specific songs, blah, 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 you kind of grow into, okay, it's okay to be gay in the industry. So then to go to be gay in the industry, and then you're at a party and it's like about, a porn star reforming, which that was not an issue. The issue was that was the issue in the party. That was what the whole conversation was about. That's what it was centered about. And I'm like, okay, so we're not here to network. We're here to have this argument.
But see, that bothers me because networking can happen anywhere, my God. And that's why I've been so successful, because just because it may not have been the people that you chose to be there or expected, there were people there who could purchase your music.
Yeah, and I don't think my mindset was, I'm here to sell my records and get people to buy my records.
Not even sell a record, sell you as a brand, because you as an artist, your objective is to be likable.
Yeah.
You didn't make yourself come across likable.
I don't think that was the perception people got of me at the party.
Okay.
Because people were definitely in my face and talking to me.
At the party itself?
Yeah,
But see, at the party and you filming a reality show is two different things.
Yeah.
So I don't care what they got at the party, but I do care about what we saw as a viewing audience now, because one thing you're addressing is the small people who were at the party.
Yeah.
And what about the masses, hundreds of thousands of people who are now watching you?
Yeah, and we also have to understand that I've never done a reality show, and like I said, this was my first time stepping into a group of a networking event that was predominantly gay. It was my first time just being around people that are so open about like, oh, I've done porn. Like that just doesn't happen in my everyday life.
You do realize that pornography is not just a gay thing.
I didn't say that, but I'm just saying that was too different.
Well, I'm only addressing that because you keep saying around openly gay, and you keep linking it being a porn reforming party.
No.
The reality of it is the gay and porn is not synonymous.
No. And I don't feel like that. I just feel like that was the structure of that event.
Okay.
That was what went on that event. And I felt like I was in a twilight zone. That's why I was like, and I try to cover things with a smile.
But how long have you been in Atlanta before filming that scene?
I've been in Atlanta for 3 years.
See, that still bothers me then, because you're not really clearing it up.
I'm not very social.
I'm not neither.
Yeah. So I'd never been to an event where people talk about, oh, I did porn and this kind of thing. And then it becomes a big deal.
But isn't your previous EP pretty sexual?
No, my EP is about depression, suicide, and addiction, which was the sexual addiction. Is it sexual based? No, it's not.
Okay. So it's interesting.
There's it's a song on there called Drugless that is about addiction and being addicted to the physical sex, physical of loving someone, the physical just having to be under somebody. Like, this is my addiction.
I will say it's interesting that there is a conflict within yourself in reference to Sharad's porn star reformant party, that you kind of label it, with you and having a sexual addiction, because I think that would soften your heart for where he was.
And it wasn't, and I feel like if we all watch any footage, I never addressed him being a porn star or,
You haven't, but here you keep saying you've never been around people who talked about porn openly and so on and so forth.
I just felt let down by the event, point blank. Okay. To be honest, like I just felt like, okay, so this event's not really going anywhere. They're just arguing about this. He's storming out. That's the party. Honestly, it wasn't that many people there. It was at this point, it was just cast and a few issues.
I'm trying to still understand what you're sharing, only because your expectations being so high. Mm-hmm. I know for me, if this wasn't Bravo,
right,
VH1, hell, even BET, I'm trying to figure out where was your level of expectation for where this was going to go and the scenes you were being put in based on who you were working with, and not to negate the budget and what's going on, but people are at different levels. So my thing is, how do you go into something knowing that it's a entry-level reality show, but your expectation on what you thought was supposed to happen?
Anything I do, I just have very, very high expectations, and I feel like it should be a growing experience, and I just want to go there and I want to learn.
But high expectations, if there is no budget nor connections to make it a high, to meet your expectation, then
at the same time, we don't know, like, if there's.
So you had no clue, which you said is ATL Hustle, what you were getting yourself into.
No, I honestly, 120%, I did not know that it would be. I didn't know that would be this successful. I didn't know that it would be this. If it was, I don't call it low budget. I don't call anybody's projects low budget. Mm-hmm. I look at art as art. I feel like everything that anybody puts out is on a standard. Point blank, period. Like, I disagree.
I get the derogatory use of low budget, but the reality of it is the word exists to differentiate when something is high budget. Yeah, and the reality of it is, as derogatory as we can say low budget is, low budget means you have a low budget.
Yeah, and I can see that and I can understand that. But for me as an artist, anything that is art, I feel like I don't look at it as monetary. I don't look at it as a budget. I just feel like somebody's trying to make something and make something magical.
But your expectation is what I'm trying to address here. Yeah. Your expectation for something that is considered low budget. And I'm even going to put my channel in the category of low budget. I'm not on network TV neither. So I'm still low budget.
I take your interview very seriously. Just like if it was.
You do, but when we're talking about low budget, I don't have a green room. I mean, I have a guest room, but I don't have a green room. So my thing is, to have high expectation for me means you should have come here expecting a green room, maybe an assistant, maybe a makeup artist, maybe being briefed. You didn't get any of that from me.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's all a learning experience. That might be the learning experience, what to expect on different platforms. Mm-hmm. But when I walk into any situation and anything that I commit my time to, I have the high expectations of how I do anything that I do.
But then you're still at fault because you didn't do your research.
Well,
because my thing is, if someone invites me to do a reality show, there are certain names I'm looking for. Andy Cohen, Mona Scott. I was scouted to do something with Bravo. Right. And I did the research to find out, okay, this chick ain't directly connected to Bravo, but let me see how she makes it around to Bravo. And the show she brought to my attention was actually something that was connected to Andy Cohen. So I still feel like with you having this expectation, it is still your responsibility to make sure what you're getting yourself into is reputable, valid, and going to give you the return that you're looking for.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a learning experience.
Gotcha.
I would have to start acting in that way now, because obviously I've definitely learned my lesson of what the different platforms are. Mm-hmm. But I do honestly and genuinely walk into situations when somebody asks me to do something for them, and if I commit my time to it and they ask me because of my artistry, I feel like, oh wow, they want me, like whatever the case is, I take it very seriously. And so when I walk into a situation, I make sure I'm artist ready, I don't have acid, and I just come in with the expectation of what I'm putting out. And I just felt like in that situation, I was hoping that there would be people there that were, industry related, not even necessarily industry related. They could have been, amateur producers, because those are the best ones in my opinion. And it would be a networking event centered around the entertainment industry and not an altercation. Like, it could have been centered around exotic dancers, male entertainers, whatever the case is.
But you shaded Sherrod's event, and the altercation that happened was not at Sherrod's doing.
I don't know if I don't have a opinion on whose doing it was.
Yeah, but I'm addressing that you still degraded and or demeaned Sherrod's situation or whatever he was trying to do.
I called the event
based on.
So we're talking about when I called the event a shit show.
Yes.
So I did call it a shit show because that's what it turned out to be, in my opinion.
In your opinion.
In my opinion. Now, had they had that conversation,
but you did kind of say Sherrod's shit show, did you not?
No.
Okay.
No. We can roll the tape. I promise you I did.
I don't need to roll the tape. I mean, either way, I'm still not accepting of the statement that you made.
No. And I honestly and truly understand why people would feel like, oh, that's just negative. Like,
yeah, it is kind of
is.
negative.
And I get it. And I'm not saying that I'm the most perfect person in the world. Just for me, I think we all have like certain things that we would do or would not do or would want to participate in or maybe wouldn't want to participate in. And we all reflect on it. And my opinion was asked, and that was my opinion.
Gotcha. I agree in reference to us having different perspectives on things that we would be involved in,
right. But
it still goes back to, I'm very skeptical of certain things, so I don't get myself in too many situations that I didn't research.
Yeah, and I'm not as...
You're not there yet.
Yeah, this would be a first time where I went into a situation where I'm just completely like in a twilight zone.
Gotcha.
120%. I think anybody that was there would be like, oh yeah, Cordae was just like, it's in twilight zone. It's like, okay, oh, we're really gonna discuss this right now, right?
Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on to the next issue. Okay, Cordae, so now that we have allowed you, my God, to try to explain your way out of...
I didn't try. I did my best.
You did.
It was top tier to me because I like to believe in people's project as top tier, point blank, period.
I will say, before we go any further, I do still like you, and there are reasons why. Tramel just left, guys. And so one thing that I think Tramel wants the viewing audience and the church to know,
oh my God,
in defense of Cordae, is that Cordae is very childlike. Is that the word he used?
I am bashful and shy.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to help Cordae out a tad bit since I like Cordae so much. So with us addressing you coming to Sherrod's, I don't want to say events because it wasn't really an event, but it was a gathering, supposed to be a network situation.
It was presented as a networking event.
To kind of bring it full circle,
yeah.
Your point is production put you in a situation that you were not fully aware of.
Yes.
Okay, great. We'll close it on that. So
I did talk to Sherrod at the event though.
I saw that. We saw it, and I think, was it the bloopers episode or something like that? When you pulled him to the side and then y'all were flirting?
No, he didn't flirt. He pulled me to the side.
Somebody was flirting, my God. Now, do we have to go back and watch the episode?
I can't take responsibility for who flirts with me, but I think that he did pull me to the side, and he just kind of wanted to touch base with me, and I saw that he was portraying to be upset about the situation.
Wait, was he portraying to be upset or was he upset?
Stop.
These words, I tell you,
okay, so
Cordae uses these words. This is why we think he's so shady on the show.
I'm going to be 110%
yes.
About it. Honestly, and I could be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong. I don't feel like he was 100% authentic about his reaction to that situation, his reaction to that coming out, the storm out. It was, in my opinion, it wasn't authentic, and that's just how I feel about it. And that may be why I have such a negative view on the situation.
Okay.
Y'all have to realize that I was there the whole time. Mm-hmm. I have been there afterwards, and after that, I I've been a part of the process in ways. So I just don't feel that it was 100% authentic that he was upset about it.
Okay.
I just don't.
And that's your perspective and your opinion based on having been around for behind the scenes and so on and so forth.
On set, behind the scenes, and after the event, and also before the event, because we've had interactions before the event.
Okay. Now I want to shift in to your issues with Melange at karaoke and how you came across. I think you are aware you came across a certain kind of a way, regardless of footage placement, because I was expecting you to be more light, bubbly, and fun, and more, not cooperative, but a bigger participant because it was karaoke and you are the voice of G-Status ATL Hustle.
So when it came to that event, I did come in excited and happy to just kind of wind down with the guys. Do know that that was my first time meeting Milan in the formal sense.
I was going to say, because you both were at...
Yeah, but I was on my way out and he was on his way in.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you're not being accurate, because Melange said the same thing in reference to that was the first. Well, that's what made it so bad, because we found out that's what made it so bad, or made it even worse, once Milan came here to interview, when we found out the way you were coming across, and that was your first interaction.
So to be 110%, at that event, and I mean, I doubt I'll get fired, but we don't get fired for this.
Not here anyway. Shy loves us, loves me.
At that event, I was actually very excited. I'm very, very, very shy around people.
And Tramel confirmed that.
If I don't know you, I'm very shy, so I am very to myself. So if certain people on the cast said, oh, he just came in, he didn't really speak to anybody. I did speak. I'm very low spoken. If I don't know you and I haven't been around you, I'm very much the observer. And if you have not invited me to your space, I'm not going to come into your space. So I sat by myself. I did not sit like on the other side of the room. We weren't in that room at first, but I just sat by myself and I kind of chilled until people, talk to me, because I'm just a shy person.
But you do get, and I want you to still share your story, but I think where the viewing audience misses you being the shy person, in this particular setting, when it comes to reality TV, your objective should be to build a fan base.
Yeah.
And so your potential fan base is seeing you not come across warm. And I'm just as much of an introvert as I believe you are. Yeah. But people won't get that from me on YouTube.
Right.
And it actually bites me in the ass, because people think that I'm just big, dramatic, extra personality, when reality...
But this is, I think at the same time, this is your platform. And you are not sharing a platform. And you don't have to worry about stepping other people's toes. Okay. And for me, I just wanted everybody I wanted to get to know, and that was honestly only my second time filming. The event was my first time filming, and that was my second time filming. That's not the same story for some of the other cast members. And that's filming ever. So I was completely shy. There's cameras around. I don't know, what they're looking for. And honestly, through the whole experience, just like a disclosure, I thought that I was going to be that person that people forgot and like nobody really paid attention to. That was my honest thought. Like, I just thought I was just gonna be kind of boring and like, oh my God, no one's gonna pay attention to me. But
you became more of the bitch of the show.
Yeah, so it happens. But honestly, so let's just get past the formalities.
Yes.
In the actual room, what you guys don't know, what you guys don't see was, let's just say there was another entity in the room before that situation happened.
As in a person?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't.
You don't have to say who it is.
Okay.
I
want
to make sure you meant
another person that you will never see.
Okay.
That was in the room that everybody had really just kind of fussed out before me and Milan ever had that interaction.
Okay.
So the energy was already bad.
Okay.
And so that's why you may see me in future confessionals or like behind the scenes, social media, be a little dark towards people, because they know what happened.
Okay.
And I'm very, very disappointed in the cast members as a whole for really not kind of like not necessarily putting out there, because I know you can't contractually, or you're told to respond to certain things, but I'm kind of upset that they kind of pushed me as the focus of the bad energy.
Okay, so
I was not the original energy.
So it was so what you were displaying was a residual of what already happened.
No, there's more.
Oh gosh,
there's more. That is not captured. But so that I'm big on. No, I'm talking about this event too.
No, I meant your energy, like with people seeing you looking like you were being negative or not being super positive. It was a residual of something that already happened that we didn't see.
You gotta understand. Like I said, this is my second time filming. The first time filming, there was a big extra moment about the whole situation there, and then and now I'm in this situation as an intimate group, and now there's a situation about another entity that's in the room. They're going off on him. That later is, whatever.
So that prevented you from wanting to participate or feel comfortable participating because
I definitely felt uncomfortable at that moment.
All right.
I automatically, like, once the energy is down, it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is now what I signed up for.
Okay.
Furthermore, and what people don't know, and what also really, really disappoints me, was what made Milan, in my opinion, and other people's opinions too, that refuse to speak up, what made Milan upset with me is because I checked him at his event. And I did not check him about the situation that you guys saw. If you watch the show, Milan brings up the first time about Sherrod not having, that wasn't his place.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Amongst two people.
Yes.
Was Sherrod in the room?
You said, was he in the room?
Yes.
I don't remember, but I do know that I didn't agree
do
know that I didn't agree with that comment about...
Exactly. He wasn't in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Again, at that event, when there was not just Zafar and Tramel in the room, or Akeem, he brought it up again.
Okay.
So what I ended up saying was, in a very, very nice way, was maybe, Sherrod's going through something. Maybe that's where he aspires to live. And I spoke up for him.
Gotcha.
And Milan quickly was like, you're going to try to speak up at my event while I'm trying to have this conversation. That was his reaction. I'm not saying that's what he said, but that's what I got. That was the twist.
And I will validate what you're saying only because even in the most recent episode, Milan Jada was still concerned about wondering if what she said made it back to...
Can I ask you a question?
Made it back to Sherrod. Sure.
When did he say that? In a confessional.
Correct.
We record our confessionals...
After.
Not only after. We record our confessionals before the episode comes out. Maybe a week or 2 weeks before.
Okay.
Damage control. That's all I'm going to say about that part.
Well,
but what happened was I checked him on that, and I really spoke up for Sherrod. Everybody else in the room was quiet. Like, they didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. And the comments that were coming out his mouth was, that's not his home. I can't really trust him, and that kind of thing. Now, granted, you could just be trying to address the issue, but if the person's not in the room,
it's coming across messy.
To me, it's not right. Mm-hmm. If the person's not in the room, you should not be speaking about them if you're not asked. Nobody asked. So I don't understand why the second time this is being addressed. Now, granted, I was in a very nice place when I said, maybe that's just where he aspires to live, whatever. And he just went on this tangent of, oh, you're talking about how everything should just be great energy, and I don't really like your... No, I'm not going to sit amongst a group of people that I have to be around for a whole season and feel like if I'm around you and I may say something personal or I might be going through something, you're going to go on camera the next moment and share that when I'm not around. Mm-hmm. So in that moment, I have a very bad habit, and it could be a bad habit or it could be a good habit. I'm going to stick to it until otherwise informed. That if you cross me the wrong way in the sense of I see that you're being somewhat what I feel is fake, I'm not going to fuck with you. Okay. And that's what happened. So in that moment, it was just after that, it was kind of I'm in my thoughts.
Okay, so I think the next thing to address would be comments that you made later on about Milan Jada fashions being costume and then the fake furs and so on and so forth. I initially wanted to go into that, but what you're sharing now kind of explains a tad bit as to why you'd be kind of not wanting to
interact or be social with you.
Yes.
Like if I can't, if you display that and I don't know you and you're displaying something like that around me and we don't know each other from nothing, then imagine what you would say later on down the line. Because
you've seen this person critique someone else, now you're being more aware of critiquing this person.
Right.
Who's doing it to others.
Right. And as far as like talking about my event, I didn't cut him off. Production literally asked us, talk about what you have coming up. So that when I say it's altered, definitely.
So
we went around the room.
Milan wasn't talking about the photo shoot in the farm and then you just dropped in your Valentine's
Absolutely. I'm too shy. Like I would, no.
Okay.
Production literally asked us, they said, talk about what you have coming up. We went around the room. Some people had something, some people didn't. And I shared what I had coming and that was just, thrown in to beef up the storyline. I have nothing against production for doing what they do. I feel like I've always commented on your stuff. Mm-hmm. Trust your intentions, because a lot of times you would say, I don't know, I don't feel, and I'm like, trust your intentions. Like I wouldn't tell you the story because I want you to be in tune. I am a fan of production. I'm a fan of the show. Mm-hmm. And what people don't know is I'm a fan of Milan. And that to me is crazy. When I see Milan on the show, it's like, oh my God, this bitch is entertaining. Like this is, and not entertaining in a clown-like way. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's thoroughly entertaining.
So for the ones who would say that you're backpedaling because you're saying you're a fan and he or she is entertaining, are you still going with the fact that your initial comments that came across like making him more of the clown, costumey kind of a person stemmed from your dislike for what?
That did stem from my distaste for Milan. Okay. And it also, please understand and realize, I just don't volunteer my thoughts and opinions. Okay. I was asked. Whether you saw the question being asked, whether I don't just speak out. If somebody asks me something, I answer it. As far as confessionals, you got to understand also, you have somebody who is in everybody's team Milan. That's awesome. Like, I wish him nothing but the best.
Well, everybody's team Milan, because like I said, I liked you first. I still like you now. I like Milan after meeting.
But I'm just saying, for the people who are.
But they're still also basing it off of what's being shown. And that's why I think I told you before we started to film, most people who come here typically leave being more liked because it fills in the blanks.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate you being open-minded enough, just being mindful of knowing that when I critique a show or a person, I'm critiquing from face value on what's being shown, but I do try to leave room to say, maybe I'm wrong, or is it production? And so I do thank you for saying that you are aware that I did say,
Right. And I could have, came back and like made videos and did comments and kind of explain myself. But I want people to thoroughly be entertained and just be enjoyed by the show. Like anything that's said, it really doesn't bother me in a way that like, it just doesn't. But I do want people to be entertained by him. I want him to get his shine just as well as anyone else on the show.
I have a question really quick.
Personally,
go ahead.
And that's professionally, and that's business-wise. But personally, can I fuck with you? No, because there's been too many slips. And that was the first, and I usually trust that instinct. But because we're on a show, I was convinced to, later on down the line, you'll see, to do more of forgiving. And obviously, we see how that went.
I have a question, though. My question is, do you remember, because you've been watching from the beginning, do you remember one of the reasons that I initially liked you was because I thought that I saw myself in you?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so I wanted to expound on that only because one of the reasons why I was anxious to get you here and for you to share your story, and I feel like I'm a tad bit harder on you than I've gone on any other interview, it's because I know how it feels to come across a certain kind of a way
Be misunderstood.
and be misunderstood.
Right.
And so
you just want me to be great.
Yeah.
And I get it. And that's why I take things and I sit with them and I kind of think about it. And I'm not afraid to, I have no pride in the sense of I can't say that, oh, this person I'm a fan of on the show in the entertainment aspect. I'm just not that person. I'm going to just always say how I feel. And in that situation, that's what it was. But when you go off on these tangents and then in your confessionals, it's kind of like, I'll probably punch you in your face. And it's kind of like, so now it's like a physical thing. It's a threatening thing. And it's kind of like, I really didn't sign up for that. And that's kind of, and when people say, oh, he thinks he's above everybody, violence and reacting like that, I do feel like that's beneath me. And I agree. I won't stand for it. I won't allow it. And when you display yourself, which he did in that moment, then I'm always going to look at you like, oh, I mean, that's how you are? Okay.
And does that carry over into why you wanted Akeem to speak up about his interaction with Milan? Because I do feel like
I wanted to draw the conclusion. I wanted to see what the interaction was, because I wanted to, when you get a similarity in reactions and you find a common denominator, and it wasn't a spiteful thing, because at the end of the day, I know I have to film with you. So I just want to know how to handle you. I want to know how to be around you.
So you just kind of wanted, like I said, things to unfold or be shared from Akeem's perspective. Yeah. But are you fully aware after seeing footage that Akeem's behavior was ridiculous and disgusting with his interaction with Milan?
I think I think that Akeem is camera ballsy.
Okay.
They say it's a drinking thing.
Allegedly.
Because
we don't want to put that on anybody.
But I think that it's camera ballsy. Akeem understands the industry in the sense of he wants to be on the camera, so he'll make sure that he's on the camera. Okay. Do I think that he got heated in that moment? Yes. Do I think that he was 100% responsible for this situation? No. Do I think he's responsible for what he said? Of course. But I think that certain people handle things differently. I will say one thing you just shared was someone being the common denominator. You are aware that Akeem has been in that situation repeatedly on several reality shows. I'm not 100% sure of his interactions on other reality shows. Well, I'm letting you know. But, and it's kind of hard because I give everybody a fair chance. Okay. And Akeem has been nothing but sweet to me. Okay. My interactions with Akeem has been really like encouraging. Like, it's so funny when they say, you're 40, you should be able to give like this advice. Regardless of what he said about the performance on the show, before I went on stage, I went outside and he spoke to me and he was like, you know what, you're gonna do amazing, you know, you look great. Like, he was really, I don't know, he was sweet for me all season except one situation, but I just think that he just crossed the boundary and once you kind of... Did we make it to that yet, or are you talking about something from... No, this was the first part. It just didn't get caught on camera. Okay. So for me, Akeem has been sweet. A sweetheart, and I have not seen those really on set. I never got to see those interactions. Of course, I saw him and Adrian kind of fall out, but I think that they both were at fault in that situation. Again, everything's not shown, but they both were kind of... We did see this past week though, where I wasn't sure about what Adrian was doing when he touched the face and then all that, because... I think there was a previous... You could tell that stemmed from history, and that's why I just kind of walked off, let it be. Mm-hmm. But my interactions with Akeem have been sweet, but the way that he talked to people on the cast, in confessionals and behind the scenes and just watching the show, I don't agree with. I think that it's not cute, it's not becoming, and I hope he just does better in life. Sorry, Keem. No, I'm glad you said that. We needed to hear that from you. The church needed to hear that from you, because it creates that you have a certain standard of what really should not happen. Because the reality of it is, things you may have said and done in reference to your shade hasn't been significantly harsh. But we know for a fact, Akeem has said some Yeah, he's
derogatory
done
things.
some derogatory and direct and characteristics. I don't necessarily come for people's character, and I don't come for their careers. I might come for like little itty bitty shit. The only reason I commented on the fur coat because you wanted to take it off and punch me.
Yeah.
So there was a comment on it. But you'll never really see me get completely out of character except one time, and you'll see that.
Okay. All right. So, see, this interview is turning around for you, as I hoped it would, my God. So I'm proud of you. You know, you can kind of slide back up onto being a part of my group of faves. Well, I don't have that many, but it's like 2.
I
kind of got to add Tramel.
Now.
Well, I liked Tramel earlier on. He wasn't
Tramel.
in my group of faves, but, you know, if Tramel actually takes me on a date, he could be, you know.
But on the, I like I said, on the subject of it, at the beginning, like now it's a course of things, but on the subject of it, it's really more so that first interaction, I will write you off. And that's just my personality. If people don't like it, then it is. And
like I said, we're similar, and it is hard for me as well to come back from something that I saw initially, because my thing is, if this is how you initially presented yourself, I'm going to think this is who you really are.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what you said in that moment, and I want people to pay attention to this for next episode. It does not matter what exact words you said in that moment. It's the fact that you brung it up twice without this man in the room, and it's about where he lives. It's about his home. And
I do
that
know,
to me is sad because you don't know what people are going through.
Believe in my recap, if I'm not mistaken, when I addressed that particular statement.
Never seen it.
Yes, you did.
I didn't see that you addressed it.
Yes, I did.
Maybe. I gotta go back and watch it.
I did address it.
I would have commented.
I addressed the statement because I felt like.
Wait, what recap though?
It would have been earlier on. It would have been the first episode, which you had to have seen because you've seen all of the recaps.
Yeah, I didn't hear you address.
Yeah,
I pay attention, Ty.
You usually do, which is why I'm surprised you didn't hear me address it. I thought that it was inappropriate because of the fact that we don't know for sure, and just the fact that what was the purpose of bringing it up?
Right.
You know,
and don't be wrong. Like, it doesn't make me hate someone. It doesn't make me like I'm not disgusted with Milan. It's just the fact that you think that I don't have a right to not really deal with you because of it. It's kind of like you have to let me make my decision for myself. And when I made it apparent, like, you're not somebody I'm gonna hang out with, then you try to turn it into I think I'm better, or you try to turn it into all these little bits and pieces of things and like influence people. When no, that was me and your issue. It was left where it was. Don't be so pressed.
All right, so there are things that we need to address, social media wise. But before we get into those things, I do want to lighten the mood a tad bit. So I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask you in reference to G-Status ATL Hustle. Okay. The church would like to know, have you had sex with anyone on the cast?
No.
Are you serious? Really? No one?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, hypothetically, who on the cast would you choose if you had to have sex with them? Hypothetically.
No one. I had the option and did not take it. No.
Cordae, come on.
Honestly, no one. I wouldn't.
I don't feel like you're being transparent.
I am being very transparent.
So there is no one. If you had to pick from the options that are there, who would it be?
No one. There's no one on the cast that I would have sex with.
You're disappointing me right now, and I was so proud of you.
Don't be disappointed.
Okay, I'm going to say some names and let me know what your thoughts are.
Okay.
Alrighty, so let's go with Sherrod first.
Am I supposed to? What am I doing?
What's your thoughts? You can say a word. You can say a sentence. What are your thoughts on Sherrod?
Okay, so as far as Sherrod, I feel sorry for him.
Okay, you feel sorry.
I feel sorry for him. for a couple of different reasons. I feel like Sherrod has the potential to be great. I feel like Sherrod had the potential to be great.
Why did you say had as in past tense? Like he can't any longer?
I think that Sherrod has a problem with integrity. I think Sherrod has an issue with respect.
Based off of what? The show or post?
After the show. Okay. I think Sherrod has issues with self-respect. And I think that when you are going through those things, don't be so quick to speak on everything. Okay. I think that sometimes you should just sit in your thoughts and sit with those thoughts.
All right. So next person.
Yeah.
Adrian. Although he's a B cast member, still we can.
Honestly, I really liked Adrian until he did the interview here.
Okay.
When you guys asked him about my show, I just saw a lot of fakeness, because if you look at the footage, and this is just me being salty, I'll get over it. But if you look at the footage, and I have the footage on my phone, we can look at it too. He's the loudest one while I was singing. He was the loudest one cheering.
I'm laughing because when I mentioned our similarities, you're quick like me to pull up a receipt.
I have receipts for everything I speak of. We'll talk about DMs too. He definitely was the loudest one, the biggest support system in that situation. When I left out there, he was, oh my God, that was so great. and someone did feel uncomfortable about him touching me. Like, they was like, oh my God, that was. So when you guys asked him and he just was like, and he did all of that, it was just kind of like, bro, at the end of the day, whether what you saw footage-wise was to your liking or not to your liking, you're asked to respond to the moment that you were in. And you clearly see yourself in that moment louder than anybody damn else in that damn room. Oh. And at the end of the day, with him being there, you saw everybody in that room on their feet for the first time out of all of the performers that performed. Everybody had on their camera phones. My room was filled with people. Okay. So at the end of the day, reflect on the moment. Don't ever try to damage my brand or damage my talent or my passion of what I do, and you were in the room being the loudest one, because now you're making yourself, to me, look fake. And you're always the pro, oh, I'm not with that, and I'm not with that fake shit, you know what I'm saying, and all that. And it's just kind of like, bro, now I can't trust you. And that's just what it is. You only get one chance with me. I don't dislike you, best of luck to you, but for you to have been the most vocal person in that room, you had nothing to say.
All right, on a lighter note, Tramel.
Oh, sorry. So, Tramel, I honestly absolutely adore Tramel. Tramel, and everybody had the opportunity. Tramel, I told production day one, well, not day one, after filming that first scene, I said, I want to get to know Tramel. I feel like that would be my best friend. I'm absolutely obsessed with his energy. Like, I love Tramel. And I said the same thing about other cast members.
Okay, Zafar.
Brainless.
Oh, wow.
He is definitely a follower, and it's so funny to me that he is so vocal now, because every scene that he was in, he was a mouse. He didn't speak up. He never had anything to say. And what you got at that interaction where Akeem was degrading Milan is what you get from him in person at every event when anything goes down.
Because I think Milan was bothered. Zafar
he was
didn't speak
bothered
up.
by that situation. You can tell. And they are, you know, they're friends. And I'm going to go back for my friend to the end too. So kudos on it. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be a mouse, don't have so much to say afterwards.
Alrighty, Akeem. Well, I think
Akeem, sweet, but you have some work to do with how you express yourself.
Then we have, who's left?
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, my boo. I don't know why I always forget that Charlie's actually a cast member. You know why? Because Charlie and I are like real friends now. Like real friends. Like for real friends.
No, honestly, when it comes to Charlie, I'm disappointed. Very disappointed.
What are you disappointed about?
And he kind of came clean with one interview on the Royal Couch, his latest interview, but everything that me and Charlie did was very genuine. That scene that you guys saw, it was incredibly awkward because no, I've never like had to like come at a guy in front of cameras with other people in the room and then watching. That is incredibly like oh my God, what did I sign up for?
Okay.
So, and that was only the second scene I ever shot. Especially, and it was the first scene that was focused on me. So when we had that moment, I had already knew Charlie for years.
Wow, you have.
And Charlie, whether he admits it or doesn't, I have receipts. I have a lot of receipts. So
and swinging my chair.
I'm sorry. So I'm very, okay, sorry.
You're comfortable now, that's fine.
But no,
the receipts about Charlie. Mm-hmm.
About Charlie. So the whole like, oh, he was slipped in my DM. No, that's not how it happened.
Okay.
How it happened was, I'm very classic. I'm a very classic guy, and if I like you, I'm gonna come at you classically. And what happened was, maybe 2 years ago at Lenox Mall, Charlie slipped in my messages on Jacked.
Okay.
And consistently after that, we never met up. We never did anything because he wanted to do other things. And though I may have wanted to do other things, I never followed through because I wanted more. Because I just found something.
Well, why would I ask you
more.
Who would you have sex with? Why you just didn't say Charlie?
Because I wouldn't have sex with him now. Oh. That was then. Now that's why I said I had potential. There, if I wanted to, I would have did it. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah. So what I did was I found him on Instagram. So to change, for me, it changed. That's a personal decision. It changes the tone. Like we didn't meet on Jacked. I feel Jacked is more of a little sex site, and so I hit him up on Instagram, and I ended up getting caught up in like his musicality and his creative work that I really just kind of steer away from, like trying to hang out, meet up, and that kind of thing. So when the opportunity presented itself, i.e. the show, I took it. But no, that's not, it wasn't like, ooh.
So the date that took place was just for a scene. It wasn't really
it was
having an interest in him.
No, everything on the show, that's why I was saying I'm disappointed in him because he made it seem like, oh, it was for the show. It was an experience. That wasn't the case. The case was, it was legit and it was genuine. The scene was legit and genuine, but it was awkward. I didn't realize it would be that
awkward. Okay.
That much pressure. And throughout the season, me and Charlie, we've hung out outside of the show, so don't blame the cameras. And I cut the situation off.
Oh, okay.
And he tried to pick the situation back up afterwards.
All right, so
after we were finished filming.
Next
so
person,
just don't blame it on the camera. But I still love Charlie though.
Next person, really quick, because you already addressed this person, but Milan Jada. Really quick.
Just because of the violence and the continuous threats, it's in the back and forth with what you'll see in future shows, the apologies. I just can't, it doesn't seem like it's ever going to go anywhere until she is, or he, I'm sorry.
He goes by both.
Okay, yeah. So until he is complacent within himself, I think that it's more so something within him because I've noticed on the cast, he's very more so irritated or irritable with people who are confident and people who are complacent in themselves and not afraid to express that on the level that he does when he walks in the room. Okay. Hakeem is very, I'm here, this is me. I walk in the room and people automatically like, oh, that's Cordae. Oh, hey, Cordae, whatever the case is. Though I'm to myself, I don't intentionally do that. So the fact that he has to put on all of the things he has to put on and do all of this, I think that he finds some type of like threat or like insecurity with, oh my God, they're gonna take my shine and I did all of this. Let me be irritable with them. That's
but what if that's just who he is though?
If that's who he is.
I mean, as far as the look and the
No,
appearance.
and I'm not
androgynous.
mad with who he is.
Okay.
No, I love it, and you'll see throughout the season that I love androgynous people. I do. Okay. I think that is beautiful. I think that is beautiful, and
the thing is,
I like feminine guys in general. That's my type. So that it wasn't a reason for you to be upset with me.
Okay.
Because
the church was calling you out because we didn't have an understanding of your dislike for Milan, but you sang songs by my daddy, Prince.
Yeah,
and he kind of gives off androgynous at times. Or he did, I should say.
Have anything to do
with being androgynous.
With being androgynous, feminine. I like feminine. That is my type, and that's why I have been single, because feminine guys don't like me. It's always these masculine, big, beefy guys that's like, I want to be your bottom, and it's like, I just want someone a little bit more dainty.
Interesting.
Just saying.
So to finish up this long ass interview, because this has been the longest interview that I've ever had.
Hopefully in a good way.
It is good. It is good because I think people are going to be able to see different sides of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let's get into vocals. I know I've had comments about your vocals. And so how do you feel about my comments about your vocals?
Honestly, I take everything into account. I know my artistry and I know my talent. So people making comments that are constructive, I love. People who make comments that are just ugly, it's like, okay, well, I don't care. But one thing that disturbs me about it is because people will legit see on the show that I'm in a rehearsal studio practicing.
Okay.
And be offended by a vocal. And it's like, I'm practicing. I'm actually working on something. I want to say that this whole season, with the exception of one fun scene that wasn't probably a legit scene, that I'm the only one working this season.
Okay. So,
also,
come on. I don't want to be too abrasive, so I'm letting you carry this train.
So, and that comes, and that's leading up to,
because I don't ever want to be harsh. But one thing I do want to say though, in reference to whether it's rehearsal or your on-stage performance, one thing that I hope you're mindful of, just as I am, everyone's not going to like you.
Yeah. And
because everyone doesn't like my show.
Trust you, me. I am in a genre for a reason. I stick to certain things for a reason. And I don't expect everybody, the mass, to like me. There's people that have not been liked vocally that I love and that has embraced me, i.e. Brandy.
You do know she's my idol.
Love her. For a long time, people had the worst things to say about Brandy. But I think Brandy is absolutely in her prime.
Vocalist.
In her prime. I don't think that people really gave her vocal credibility until her later career. And I'm
not sure, because I come from a vocal background, and even from being a worship leader in church and so on and so forth. And I can always remember Brandy, even when I was in high school.
I'm with you.
I always remember the people that I knew who were singers referenced, and we patted ourselves after Brandy.
And that brings the difference in. You have people who can look at an artist and critique an artist that is an artist. And then you have the people who are spectators. And I'm just, my point is, there's all different types of vocalists, there's all different types of tones, and there's all different types of sounds. And I know that my sound is not
for everyone.
Not necessarily even for everyone. It's just not what you're gonna hear. It's not commercial in the sense of what you're gonna hear from every artist. I have a different sound. People will say, oh, he just gave a Jussie Smollett, like he's Jussie Smollett of G status. Like I've heard that multiple times, but Jussie Smollett is booked. He just sold out a tour.
He is booked, but I'm sorry, I don't like his voice.
And that's fine. But at the same time, he has sold out shows.
I don't care. But that's selling out is still, because there are tons of girls in church who can sing their asses off.
And they're not.
But it does not matter when we're addressing their vocal. If you put them up against, for example, Keke Wyatt is a sickening singer.
And that's
but Sierra is technically still on a higher level than she is when it comes to being booked. Yeah. Keke still is a better damn singer, my God.
And trust you me, my favorite artists are Anita Baker, Brandy, Sade, Rye. I love these people, and a lot of them are incredible vocalists, but you don't have
They're not booking right now.
You don't have to be a mainstream artist. You don't have to have the most commercial voice, and you don't have to be liked by everyone to pursue your artistry and to make your money. Point blank, period. I sell records. I posted receipts, and I released a project a year ago, and they are still doing what I want them to do. I'm still being shown love. I'm still being supported. The vocals on the show, do I feel like you got a true vocal? No, but do I regret them, and am I going to try to back them up and go into, okay, well, it's an input of 10 different inputs. If my note was a little bit flat, y'all going to get a full flat note because this went through a computer, it went through a microphone, it went through your YouTube, it came out your speaker. I could go through that all day because I know technically how, if your sound ain't 100%, you're not going to be 100%. However, in that moment, nobody will take that moment from me when I was doing the show where I performed Prince and some other songs, because my crowd loved it. My show sold out. I made my coin. And everybody was on their feet. Everybody had that. I made a difference. People came up to me afterwards and say, you know what, you did a really great job. That's all that matters to me. They were there.
Okay. Well, my 2 cents, regardless of what my feelings were about your vocals, I believe I did say earlier on that you do have pretty good sounding music.
Yeah, and then I get the whole, maybe it's auto-tune. If you listen to my music, you can tell that it's, if you listen to my music and then go back and watch maybe a YouTube clip or an Instagram clip, you can tell that it's my voice.
Well, I wasn't talking about auto-tune, no, but I'm just vocal, saying but I meant like your music in general.
I've heard someone on your couch or your chair say, oh, well, maybe it's auto-tune. And I've heard that in comments. And the thing is,
the funny thing is, they were a lot harsh than I was. I do know that.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you listen to the music, you can tell that it's not auto-tune. We know what auto-tune sounds like, and we know what a vocal is when it's not someone. You can tell it's me. And then also, just like your Brandies and your Rise and your Sades, if you listen to a song, i.e. like It's Cool, the way that all of my harmonies are in there, I have colliding harmonies, I have E-harmonic, and I have so much in that I'm proud of and that I love about music, that you can't say, oh, he's always singing flat. There's no way that you can come up with that many harmonies in a song and just be flat all the time. You can't sing them.
Well, we haven't heard you sing all the time, so I don't think everybody's saying that you're flat all the time.
No, but I'm just saying in the sense of what the commentators have to say. Okay. So I'm just, it's not a defense, it's just be more open and well-rounded to what I do versus just watching footage on a show before you try to say that's not your calling, because you don't know how hard I've worked to get to
Well, I won't say, I know me, I will never say that's not someone's calling because, like, I go back to,
You did, though.
I said it wasn't your calling?
Not mine.
I did?
Not mine, but when Milan sang, you did say that.
I said it about Milan?
Yeah, you were like, oh, no, that's not for you. That's exactly what you said. But... but at the end of the day, honestly,
let me finish what I was going to say first.
I honestly, I took, and you will have an opportunity to hear me sing classically. I came from a classical teaching. And
I was going to ask you when you were here, I wanted a classical song as well as a pop or whatever category you're in. Something needs to be sang on this platform because you should be prepared because you know that Melange Jada came here and did not sing.
So what I am going to say about that is...
Oh, and Melange Jada said she sings better than you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as an artist, I'm never going to compare what I do to somebody else. That's somebody who's pressed. Mm-hmm. And who, if you have to compare yourself to me and you think I can't sing, obviously you have an issue with your voice.
Only reason why I'm going to question that is only because if someone asks you a question, you do have the right to give an answer.
No, you do. But when you have no receipts at all, I don't have a video of you singing ever. I don't have a song. Your website has said to be continued for years. It was last copyrighted in probably 2016, I want to say. You've been coming out with this EP all season. So what I will say is I'm not going to sing. And the reason I'm not, because obviously we know I will sing.
Well, I wanted you to sing because...
I sang all damn season.
Let me tell you why I wanted you to sing. I wanted you to sing because the church came from Melange Jada vocally because they believe that if you are a singer or a vocalist, especially if you're promoting it as your brand, you should have something that you're always prepared to drop on the people, my God.
Yeah, and I feel like, honestly, I have given a vocal the majority of my time on the show. And there is receipts of my vocals. If you don't know that I can sing, you can easily go to my YouTube, Cordae Sings, and you can see me singing raw, which means like without a microphone, without an auto-tune or any of that shit. You can see it on my YouTube page.
But the
only reason I'm not singing is because he came onto the platform, said that he could sing better than me, and did not sing, and has not sang all season.
That's one reason why you should be singing here, to shut the shit down, Cordae. I'm so not happy with you right now, because I knew that Cordae's ass was coming with a damn song.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
you have the right to not sing.
Will you tag my YouTube?
I will. You can send me your info.
Tag my YouTube, and if you watch my video where I sing a song, Can We Talk, which is incredibly high, and shows a true vocal. If you don't like that, then no, I can't sing to you, so sorry.
But again, it still goes back to people have their own opinions and taste and likes.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's just like saying...
That's all I can give you. If you ain't with us, all I got.
Some people don't like oranges, people like apples.
Right.
That doesn't mean that...
It doesn't affect me and what I'm going to do tomorrow. Because I got it, sorry.
I'll get that for you.
I have a third EP coming out.
And you just released something, so share it with the church.
I released...
a single.
No, I released my project.
Oh, that was a whole project?
I released 2 EPs.
But no, something was released like 2 days ago or this week.
Nope. But you know what? When you have a repertoire,
I mean, regardless.
then you can just drop shit. But no, it had already been out. I just shared it. It wasn't new.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't new. But my new project, everyone's gonna...
Well, let me tell you why. Because you were claiming to not come to visit me until you had something new.
And that was the plan, but I was kind of forced.
Oh, you were forced to come see me.
No, honestly, you already know. Like, I'm the one that was like, please, please, please have these guys. Like, I think they're so awesome. I really like them. I think the energy's fun. Like, I can watch a whole hour interview. I cannot watch anybody for an hour. Like, that was me to production to like make this whole shebang happen. Yeah,
you were the original comment. You were commenting early on.
And I'm glad that
you
he
always
watched
had
you and
positive
agreed.
things to say.
I'm glad he watched and agreed. But no, I did not want to come on and not use it as a marketing thing, and that's just me.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
But I feel like at this point, I had so many fans and supporters, people
waiting
who
to see
do
you.
love me, and we'll touch on that in a second. But I do have a lot of fans and supporters waiting to see me respond and stop being, the person that just, let everything go.
Being PC.
And yeah, yeah. So.
Alrighty, so to close out this interview, we have one last hot topic question.
Okay.
That is burning. I think this is the most important question for the church and the viewing public and audience. Are you in a relationship with Ja, the producer of G Status ATL Hustle?
I am not in a relationship. I am preparing my life and my situation from being a bachelor for 4 years to get into a relationship.
Okay. And so have you and Ja been sexually involved?
I am preparing my life, and no, I would never tell my business like that out. That's just nasty.
It's not nasty.
It is nasty. That's perverted, Ty. I can't believe you asked me that.
That is not perverted because I'm asking what the church wants to know, but it's not because I have no problem saying who I had sex with because most people, I don't regret. Even if they were assholes, I don't regret it.
What I'm gonna say
because I choose my people wisely, my guy.
I am in. You guys keep watching. I have a lot coming up, and you will get answers to these questions. However, I am preparing my life to be a better man for somebody I care about.
Okay, and we still don't have confirmation if it's Ja, the producer.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not Ja, or do we not have confirmation?
Whichever one you want to go with.
Well,
no,
I'll go with.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
No, it's not Ja.
Regardless what the media is saying.
What the media needs to probably pay attention to is the work that this incredible producer is putting out.
I disagree because you are on a reality show.
The time that he is putting into this is, just infinity and beyond.
You are on a reality show, and you also have been.
He's an awesome guy. We all on the cast are in a relationship with Ja. We are in a
no, you're not. Stop it.
Beautiful business relationship, and it's awesome. It really is awesome, and I've never worked with such awesome people, innovative people. And my life is single, and I'm not single. I'm gonna say I'm a work in progress to become the best man I can be for somebody else.
So, regardless of Ja, are you single or not? We need a definitive answer.
No, I'm not single. I'm working on my life to become the best boyfriend I can be.
So you're not single?
No.
You're not referring to yourself. There is somebody special in your life.
Very special.
Okay.
You're very special.
Don't try it.
You are. You like super special. He is super special, y'all.
We're going to close this. Please tell them where to find you on social media outlets.
You can find me everywhere Cordae sings. There's more interviews to come. You are my first interview.
I know. I'm thankful because I would have been upset with you if I wasn't.
You would be my first interview. I hope you guys really, really keep watching the show. Tune in. I think that you guys will kind of see stories unfold. At the beginning, I was really, really, really business oriented, and now I'm kind of laid back and ready to have some fun. So watch me have some fun.
All right. So please let them know about your social media outlets.
All of my social media outlets are Cordae Sings. Cordae Sings. That's Facebook that's iTunes, that's Spotify, that's Tidal, that's Instagram, that's Twitter. And that is where you can find me. I'm findable.
This has been an eventful and interesting interview, my guy. We did have fun, though, I will say that. So please follow us on all social media outlets. Comment down below in the comment section. I know you guys are already commenting. Please thumbs up this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications.
And subscribe to my channel too.
Of course.
Cordae Sings. And he's gonna leave the link, I hope.
You know I am.
He's gonna leave the link and you can go ahead and watch, the live video and then you can go watch somebody else's live video. And tell me what you think.
Bye, guys. You are a mess, Cordae.
I'm just saying.
You're a mess. You are still mic'd up. Wait a second.
I'll just get my drink. I'm a little parched.
You are a mess. A mess.
I'm not a mess.
No,
I'm a good time.
Okay. We had a great time. I'm proud of you. I already said that.
I'm proud of you too. Because you really come you're doing this alone and
I'm single and ready to mingle.
Okay, don't be too ready to mingle.
No, I'm not ready to be in a relationship yet.
But don't be ready to mingle.
Why not?
Go back to being introverted and be like to yourself and really sit with your thoughts and your time.
That's not good for us when we deal with
You need to figure
depression.
it out. You have to do it. You have to get over that hump. Have to get over that hurdle.
But I also need to enjoy life. I'm 33 years old.
Oh yeah, of course. Enjoy life, but that doesn't mean you need to be mingling.
But I can go on dates.
No.
Cordae.
Stay far, far away from men.
You're trying it right now.
That's the problem. We gotta just stay far.
So you're trying it right now. I'm trying to figure out why can't I go on a date? Like, I need to eat a meal, a movie.
You have a beautiful kitchen. And that's a nice TV. Have some me time for at least, how many years of your life did you give to a man?
10 plus 8. 10 with my ex-husband,
So
8 with my last partner.
give yourself 18 months.
You have lost your
I
mind.
haven't.
Yes, you
You
have.
can't trust me?
I trust you, but when it comes to not even be able to go on dates and have fun, we are built to mingle with other people.
No, go out, have fun, but don't go on dates. You don't have to go on dates. Enjoy people like in the friendship lane or just,
No, I mean-
associations.
But why can't it be a friendship
need
kind of a date?
No. Date sounds intimate. Give yourself 18 months.
Oh, but I'm going to have some sex.
You don't have to do that.
Yes, I do. I'm an adult.
I mean,
A 33-year-old
okay.
adult.
Okay, well, get it in. That's fine.
So get it in without a date. So give it up and not get somebody to buy me a meal or something, my God.
No, don't do it for a meal. No, I'm just joking.
So do it for free.
Yeah, do it for free.
No. Mm-mm. No.
What would you?
I'm going to get something out of the deal. I mean, well, of course I'm getting something out of the deal.
Okay, thank you. I hope so, obviously. Unless you're doing with the wrong people.
Well, there are people who are like that. A little selfish.
Well, I'm very selfish.
When it comes to intimacy?
Yeah, because I'm not messing with no penises.
No, I don't mean as far as...
But people say I'm selfish all the time.
No, I don't mean top or bottom. I mean as far as making sure that your partner's satisfied.
You're not, see? Get rid of the word partner. 18 months.
I'm not talking about me having a partner.
Give it 18 months.
That's a long time.
I challenge you.
You can challenge me all day long, but I'm going out on a date, my God. I'm waiting for Tramel to take me on a date. What's wrong with that?
I love Tramel.
Exactly.
18 months. I'll tell Tramel to try again.
You better not.
Actually, where's my phone?
Don't mess up my stuff. Shoot, I'm not even referring to romantically. We can go out on a date. Shoot.
A date is romantic. It's intimate.
Not really. Depends on where you go.
Give it 18 months. Why can't you give 10% of the time that you gave to these other men?
Because I'm going to be 35 years old by then. So the date at
18 months. I'm telling you. Give yourself 18 months.
That's not happening. It's just not. It sounds nice coming from you,
So,
but it's not.
I mean, do you want to always be corrupted by a man or a relationship?
No.
18 months.
You know what? This is done. This is done.
Look me. Give me.
Shoot.
18 months.
No.
18 months.
Hold on.